Guys, we'll talk about functions and lambda functions in Python. Okay, so there are four topics. We'll talk about the basic function, then how we can no give parameter the arguments, different arguments. One is star args, which is used to pass a variable number of positional arguments. Okay, and star star k WARGS, that is used to pass a variable number of keyword arguments, and then the lambda function. Okay, we'll talk about lambda function later, which is small anonymous function. So we'll start with some example of basic function, how you will define a function in Python. Okay, we can define a function with right with def. Maybe we'll just maybe add some number. Okay, um, we'll see how we can do the, or maybe we can do something like square, easier one, maybe square, right? um, some square of some number. Okay, so def, right, that is the that is used to define a function. And similarly other programming languages, maybe return, then what you want to return, you want to return a square of that. Okay, now we have defined it. Now we wanted to call that function with some value, maybe 6, right? That is okay. This is how you can define a function. Define, then the function name, then whatever arguments you wanted to pass, and your block of code. Okay, now we'll see an example of functions where it has different variable length. Okay, we do not know how many arguments are there. Okay, okay, we'll start with this one. Yes, okay, so maybe we'll define something where I will add a number. We do not know how many numbers are there, right? So maybe return some, yes, okay, so we will call print add num 1 2, right, 1 2, so it becomes 3. So, suppose we'll give 3 4 5 6, right? So we do not know how many arguments are there. In that case we can use the arguments. I think it is also used in other programming languages. Okay, now where now we can do with gears, it is something like key and value pair. Okay, we'll see an example. Right? We'll define a function, define maybe grade, right? Yes, we'll define, and then how we can read the key value in the form of key value in, yes, and we can do like items. And we can print, we'll print the key, and then the value. Okay, now we will call the function and give some key value by maybe pink age as you can see, it is able to print in a key value pair. We can also add maybe something like home address, maybe, right? Something like or maybe pin code, something like that. Something like that. Okay, so you can see it is able to do, face the argument. Doesn't matter how many different kind of arguments, it is able to do it. So there are three varieties we saw. One is normal function, then how we can call functions where we do not know how many arguments. So there are two varieties. One is positional arguments and one is keyword arguments. Talk about lambda functions in Python. So there are a few definitions how we can define lambda function. It is a small anonymous function defined using the lambda keyword. Okay, they can only contain single expression which is implicitly returned. Okay, cannot include statements, only expressions. Okay? It is compact and readable, but it is only suitable for simple code, right, where full function, right, is not required. But again, in the limitation is it is limited to single line and readability is difficult. Okay, so you can define lambda function with the keyword lambda, then argument, and then expression. Okay, similar lambda and arguments, and then you can have some condition. Okay, let me just explain you in a block of code. Assume we wanted to do a square, right? We can define it how we have defined earlier, like this, right? We can do that. We can also do that with lambda function. Assume number equal to lambda x 2. Okay, the function is done. Now suppose if you want to call, that is okay. So as you can see, same thing whatever we have defined earlier, square root, return, all those things, 2 lines, we can have done it in 1 line with lambda function. Okay, we can also, this is this one, right, without any condition. We can do something with the help with the condition. We can do that. Assume we wanted to see a number is even and odd. Okay, we can do that now. We can print that the number is even, else print odd. Our function is done. Now we wanted to call print num, assume 6, whether it is even or odd. Definitely it's even number, it's even number. Okay, suppose some odd number 7, it's odd, so it's one liner. Okay, but you cannot define a complicated function. It will be simple if else condition or expression. In that case we can use lambda function, which is very effective, and it is quicker in the runtime. It's quicker than normal function.